Hey everybody, welcome back. If you are new, my name is Dave. This is my 2004 C5 Corvette. So if you're into Corvette content, especially C5 content, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Now in today's video, we're going to be installing a catch can onto the LS1 engine. Very common thing to do, so let's get into it. Now there's many different options for a catch can. I chose the Elite Engineering catch can. Comes with obviously your catch can, all your right fittings. All you needed was Teflon tape. Does come with the bracket to attach to the passenger side head, and of course all the hardware necessary, hose clamps, screws, all that good stuff. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of kits. I will say that this is very well made and everything is included that you need, and they have really awesome instructions on how to put this in. Now I'm not going to pretend to know how this PCV system works. I just know that there's pressure that builds up in the crankcase. That pressure needs to be released. So in order to do that, they relieve that pressure into the intake. So therefore now you have gases going into your intake, and within those gases sometimes there's oil droplets, and now you have oil going into your air intake. So the purpose of the catch can is to catch that oil and not have it go into your intake. Now I'm going to throw up a few screenshots here on the different configurations for the C5 Corvette. Now mine is an 04, so any 2004 Corvette, whether you're a base or Z06, you're going to have this setup where the PCV hose comes out of your valley cover here, and there is no external PCV valve. Everything is internal to the valley cover, which is obviously underneath the intake. So all we have to do for any 04 is just remove this little section of hose here, and once you remove that, then you can just put your catch can in line with that. Now if you have an 01 to 03 Z06, so you have the LS6, you do have a check valve, an external check valve right here. So when you install the catch can, you're going to come out of your front valley cover to your catch can, back to your check valve, and into your air intake. That's how the LS6 gets hooked up. And if you have a 97 to 03 LS1, your PCV hose comes right along here, and there's a check valve in this area here somewhere. So in that case, you're going to come out of the check valve, come back to your catch can, which is going to sit right around here, then out of your catch can into your air intake. So those are the three different configurations. So like I said, this is an 04, probably one of the easier ones, but let's get into putting this in. Alright, just to get your catch can set up, obviously you just need to put on all your fittings. I did put these on with some Teflon tape, so those are all on there. I did that before I started the video just to save a little bit of time. So now we just need to put the mounting bracket onto the back of the catch can, and there are screws that just screw right into there. Again, all included in the kit. So I'm just going to attach those and I'll bring it back. So now the mounting bracket is on there. There's just two Allen head screws that get screwed onto the back. So now we're going to screw this onto the passenger side head. There are two screw holes on your passenger side head. You got one and two, and that's where this bracket is going to sit. Now you can put the bracket obviously onto the head first and then attach your catch can afterwards, but there's a lot of stuff that's in the way of putting these two little itty bitty screws in there, and I just have a feeling if I try to do that with the bracket already in the car, I'm probably going to drop those and hopefully get them back. So now the catch can is on there. I did leave it a little bit of a loose fit, this way I can just adjust it up and down depending on how those hoses fit in there. And now we just have to tackle removing the PCV hose. So again, 04s, it's right here. You can just disconnect that from both ends. I'll get in there with some pliers and really pull that out. So all Z06s with the LS6 valley cover have the PCV hose up here. If you have the 97 to 03 LS1s, your PCV hose is up here and your PC valve is right around here. So again, disconnect the hose that's going from the PCV valve into your air intake. So now with the PCV hose removed, you just have to come out of whether it's your valley cover or your PCV valve, depending on your configuration and what year you have. We're just going to have to measure a hose, come out of here and go into the inlet on the catch can. So I am going to measure and cut that hose off camera, but that's pretty straightforward. All right, so now we're coming out of, whether it's the valley cover or the PCV valve. I have the clamp on that end. Came over with a short piece of tubing to obviously the inlet on the catch can, and I put a clamp on that end. Again, this tubing, clamps, everything you see here is included with the Elite Engineering catch can, which is awesome. So now all we have to do is come out of the outlet of the catch can and come over to your air intake. So piece of hose that'll connect between those two spots as well. And you know what, after I just did this, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect the throttle body and just have that, I think, go over the top of these hoses. But we'll do that after we're done. All right, so now we have our outlet of our catch can going under and then back over into our air intake, completing the installation of the oil catch can. Now I did tighten these brackets down. I brought everything all the way up to the top just to give this room for me to unscrew the catch can and you know, empty it out periodically here and there. So I did bring that all the way up just to give myself a little bit of room, because you are getting near some coolant hoses as you go further down. So there you go. I think it's pretty clean. Try to keep the hoses as short as possible. Didn't really want to have too much excess hoses, and I think it came out and looks pretty good. Let me know what you think down below. So that's going to do it for the installation of the Elite Engineering oil catch can on my C5 Corvette. Now, like I said, depending on the year that you have, you do have a slight difference in configuration of how this would look when you do pop the hood. So base Corvettes from 97 to 03, you're going to have your PC valve right in this area with your PCV hose coming right in this area here. So you do have an external PCV valve for the base LS1s 97 to 03. If you have a Z06, so you have the LS6 from 01 to 03, you come right out of the valley cover exactly how mine is, but you do have an external PCV valve before you hit your air intake. So that's a slight difference here. And then with the 04s, whether you have a base or the LS6 Z06, the PCV valve is actually internal to the valley cover, so you don't actually have an external PCV valve. So I will leave a link down in the description to these installation instructions from Elite Engineering. I find that their instructions are some of the best out there, so definitely check out that link down below. Even if you don't have an Elite Engineering, you went with somebody else, check out their installation diagrams. I'm telling you, they're some of the best. Now, of course, I'm going to check this oil catch can periodically. I expect to be putting a bunch of miles here on the car in the next few months. Again, me and my buddy Scott at 512 Garage, we have our meetup on July 25th at Hamilton Tap and Grill in Hamilton, New Jersey from 12 to 4. So I'm going to be driving to that. And obviously, Corvettes at Carlisle is at the end of August. I plan to definitely go out Saturday, but I'm looking to go out on Friday as well. I have something Friday night, so I actually have to drive out both days. But we will be putting a bunch of miles on the car in the next 2 months. So I'm curious to see how much oil is actually in this catch can after all those miles get put on. So as always, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Thank you and have a great day.